Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw and WwE main event for the week of September 23rd, 2019. Birthdays for this week, over the weekend. September 20th, birthdays. Arn Anderson, born 1958. Greg the Hammer Valentine, born 1950. Kavita Devi, born 1986. Ethan Page, born 1989. September 21st, birthdays. Jack Briscoe, 1941. Ricky Morton, 1956. No birthdays on the 22nd. And then you got 23rd. Matt Hardy, 1974. Kerry Sane, 1988. Speaking of Matt Hardy, he celebrated, like I said, he's celebrated his 45th birthday. And on his YouTube channel at this link. And it's the name of the video is You Don't Understand promo. Hardy's been releasing his own You Don't Understand promos for a few months now, apparently testing out another potential gimmick. He wrote on YouTube, birthday day, being a beloved, wise, wealthy, iconic, handsome, hardworking professional wrestling superstar isn't as easy as it seems, especially as the head of the family known as #House Hardy. Raw superstar Lacey Evans was pulled over by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police while in Canada for the WwE Live event in Edmonton, Alberta over the weekend. She tweeted a video that showed how she stayed in character during the stop, playing the heel, of course. Alberta RCMP issued a statement to Yahoo Sports and noted that while Evans was stopped for speeding on Highway 2 in Leduc County, part of the traffic stop was prearranged. The female motorist was stopped for a speeding infraction where a provincial offense notice was issued following the issuing of the ticket. The female motorist engaged in a courteous and polite conversation with the member, where the motorist identified herself as sports entertainer with WwE World Wrestling Entertainment. She asked the member if he would participate in a rehearsal interaction on camera with her WwE persona. The member obliged. A RCMP spokesman said Evans took to Twitter and issued a statement on the stop. As reporter Joey noted earlier in the day, as prior law enforcement, myself, and a United States Marine, I do not condone, agree with, or promote disrespecting or making LEOs job harder than they already are. The video was created by both parties to promote the local live event taking place in the Edmonton area. As a sports entertainer, it's my job to not only entertain, but also set the proper example. So with that being said, I'm glad you all were entertained, but if you ever try to honestly disrespect or put my brothers and sisters in blue in harm, I hope you get what you asked for, she wrote. Evans also issued a written statement to CTV News. My character is a sassy bad guy, so I play the role often. The general public now believes this interaction was real when the officer and I planned to start recording and have him walk up again with the citation in hand. As prior law enforcement was myself, I didn't expect people to honestly believe this was real, considering I am an entertainer and was in town for a performance. It's interesting to note that before RCMP issued the statement, Corporal Chris Warren responded to Evans' written statement to CTV News and said the arrangement was news to him. That's news to me. I know the original traffic stop was legitimate, and I don't have any further information at this time, Warren said. Or the RCMP statement that you just heard was issued soon after his comments. Natalia previously tweeted a response to Evans' original video and claimed that she was related to the officer who pulled Evans, but that is not the case, as she was just playing a storyline between the two. She was commenting by saying, yes, the opposite was her cousin. National Wrestling Alliance released their latest episode of the popular 10 Pounds of Gold. And this link, hyping the promotion's countdown to their GBS Studios taping on September 30th and October 1st, which just happens to be my birthday. Indie star Eddie Kingston, who has worked everywhere from Impact, Ring of Honor, CZW, and Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, makes a surprise appearance and promises that he will be attending the NWA's event and that he won't be coming alone. We ain't about a brand, homie. We about blood. Watch the full episode at the link, which also features interviews with World Champion Nick Aldis, National Champion James Storm, Women's Champion Allison Kay, commentator Jim Cornette, Eli Drake, and owner Billy Corgan. Ring of Honor TV episode 418. Aired syndication on September 21st, 2019. It can be found on Monday nights on the Fight TV app. Here we go. After the opening video, highlights were shown of PCO and Brody King defeating Mark Haskins and Tracy Williams when Flip Gordon interfered in Atlanta. It appeared Gordon was actually late with a chair shot from ringside, so Williams had to run the ropes a second time so that Gordon could hit him from behind with a chair. More importantly, PCO took a header while performing a dive to ringside during the match and came up a bloody mess. If memory serves, the main event of the show was scheduled to be for the Ring of Honor 6-man tag titles, but they had to change it because PCO wasn't medically cleared. The hosts, Ian Riccoboni and Quinn McKay, checked in from the Ring of Honor backdrop. The recap, Vinny Varseglia putting out a lit cigar on the chest of Beer City Bruiser. Match number 1, Vinny versus Beer City Bruiser. Riccoboni and Caprice Coma were on commentary. Bruiser entered through the crowd and played to the fans while standing on the apron. Marseglia drop-kicked Bruiser from behind and then brawled with him at ringside. Bruiser rallied through the Marseglia and into a loose piece of the barricade. Bruiser went for a cannonball from the apron, but Marseglia moved out of the way. Bruiser came right back by chokeslamming Marseglia onto the apron. Bruiser went to the perch behind the broadcast team and leapt over them onto security after Marseglia moved out of the way again. And they had a commercial. Marseglia hit his red drum finisher and went for a pin, but Bruiser kicked out. Bruiser hit bit the fingers of Marseglia and did the bit where he says he can't bite. He let the crowd fill in the part about he doesn't have teeth, but only a few fans did. Bruiser put Marseglia down with a DDT for near fall. Bruiser and Marseglia fought in the front of the exposed turnbuckle. Marseglia ended up slamming Bruiser's head into the exposed turnbuckle and then performed the cutter for the win. A solid brawl that fit the tone of the feud that intensified with the cigar angle. I like the idea of putting over Marseglia rather than having Bruiser gain his revenge quickly. Riccoboni announced the wrestlers who will meet in the tournament to determine number 1 contender for the Ring of Honor Championship at final battle. The left side of the bracket featured PCO versus Kenny King. First bracket, Dalton Castle versus Mark Haskins. Second one. The right side of the bracket features Colt Cabana versus Marty Scurll and Bandito versus Jay Lethal. Upcoming Ring of Honor live events were listed, and they were commercial. Backstage, TKO Orion stood over Brian Malonis while holding a baseball bat. A number of undercard wrestlers and Lanny Poffo stood by. If you don't know who Lanny is, Leaping Lenny, the genius, Macho Man's brother, a man in dress clothes, told Orion to leave and then call for a doctor. The host had up footage of Allure members Angelina Love and Mandy Leon delivering an in-ring promo. Jenny Rose and Demarius Dawkins were standing in the ring while Sumi Saki was seated in the corner acting like she was dozing off. Love and Leon acted above the match and tried to leave, but the other wrestlers brought Love back for the four-way match. Kelly Klein sat in on commentary. Love ended up winning after hitting Dawkins with a Botox injection. They cut off the footage right after Love scored the pin and did not air the extra footage of Maria Manic coming out and chasing Love and Leon to the back. McKay interviewed Love and Leon backstage. McKay brought up that the Allure has used hairspray to cheat to win their matches. They took off their glasses and said she needs to get them checked. Joe Hendry hosted the prestigious shopping network. He had a sale on his World Champ t-shirts that were marked down from $199 down to just $24.99, which was funny. He also showed that he'd throw in the second best Dalton Castle t-shirt and showed a bird pooping. Hendry said his own t-shirt was a statement of intent and is meant for people who believe in themselves. Commercial. Ring of Honor TV show needs more segments like that. It's not that segment was all that funny. It's that it provided something fresh on a show filled with a lot of highlights. I'd like also to see more character profiles, sit-down interviews, and anything else that makes the show feel more relevant. An ad aired for next week's main event featuring Matt Taven versus Jay Lethal versus Jeff Cobb versus Kenny King in a defy or deny match. Same thing as a fatal four-way. Matt Taven stood in the ring and boasted that you just saw another name that get added to the long list of people who were forced to bow down to the king. Doesn't Jericho do the same thing? You just made the list. We did, anyway. He boasted about the wrestlers he'd beaten since becoming Ring of Honor champion and said he's on pace to become the greatest Ring of Honor champion of all time. He tried to deliver his closing catchphrase, but he was then interrupted by Rush. Rush's entrance music. Rush made his entrance wearing street clothes and entered the ring where he went face-to-face with Taven. The host spoke about Taven versus Rush for the Ring of Honor Championship at Friday's Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view. Rick and Boney said that they had breaking news. He said PCO was out of the main event due to the injury. They showed PCO taking the header earlier in the show, and thus the new main event would be Haskins and Bandito versus Skrull and King, with the winning team getting the Ring of Honor tag title shot at Death Before Dishonor. This came off as really sloppy in that they told us last week that this week's TV main event would be Haskins and Bandito versus Skrull and King. They could have had Rick and Boney explain that there was originally going to be a Ring of Honor six-man title match, but instead they presented it as if it were a new development. Match number 2. Mark Haskins and Bandito versus Marty Skrull and Brody King. King blasted Haskins with a punch that sent him to ringside. Skrull raced over and knocked Bandito off the apron, then rushed over and kicked Haskins on the other side of the ring. Commercial. King, after break, knocked Haskins down with a chop. Bandito performed a crucifix driver on King. Skrull caught Bandito with a forearm and then gave him a snapdragon suplex. Haskins got up and then punched Skrull with a left and then fell to the mat while selling hand pain. All four men down going into the final break. Late in the match, Bandito hit the 21 plex on Skrull. Bandito took out King on the floor with a flip dive, while Haskins forced Skrull to submit to the sharpshooter. Haskins and Bandito defeated Marty Skrull and Brody King to earn the Ring of Honor tag title shot at Death Before Dishonor. Series of graphics are then listed various matches for Friday's Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view. While music played, Rush checked in and said it's his time. Rush said he will be the next champion and told Taven that he's coming for him. Nothing happens unless I say so. Rush closed. A couple of ways of viewing this episode. Tag team main event was entertaining, and really the show was fine from an entertainment standpoint, with the second match once again help making the show feel a little more worthwhile than single full-length show matches did. But this was also a very disappointing show at the same time. New format should have afforded the company plenty of time to push Friday's pay-per-view, and yet it felt like they did a half-butt job with the go-home hype. Barely heard from any of the players in the top matches for the event, and they failed to make it feel like a must-see show, even though it has a strong lineup. New Japan Pro Wrestling has released a full card for the October 14th King of Pro Wrestling event from Sumo Hall in Japan, which features 3 high-stakes title matchups. And here's the matchups. Sho, Ryosuke Taguchi versus Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Doki, and El Desperado in match number 1. Match number 2, Tomoaki Hanma, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Toru Yano and Togi Makabe. Match number 3, Bushi Shingo Takagi, Tetsuya Naito versus Lance Archer, Tai Chi, and Zack Sabre Jr. Match number 4, Yoshihashi, Tomohiro Ishii, Hiroki Goto versus Kenta, Yujiro Takahashi, and Jay White. Jushin Thunder Liger versus Minoru Suzuki, who recently unmatched himself in a previous matchup. And that was match number 5. Match number 6, El Phantasmo versus Will Ospreay for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Juice Robinson versus Jon Moxley in a no DQ match for the IWGP US Championship. Don't know if that's going to happen. I believe that Jon Moxley was previously injured and was out of a AEW match. Match number 8, Evil versus Kota Ibushi with Ibushi's G1 Climax contract on the line. And the final match advertised, Kazuchika Okada versus Sonata for the IWGP Heavyweight title. AXS announced new Impact Wrestling Tuesday night time slot. Other specials to air. Impact Wrestling will premiere on the network on Tuesday, October 29th from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Same as SmackDown used to be in that time slot. So now they have nothing to compare with. Nothing to go against them. And SmackDown moves to next Friday. On Friday night, SmackDown, which also will have a name change as well. This will be a newly time slot for Impact. Impact programming will actually begin airing on Tuesday, October 1st, as older Impact pay-per-view programs will be aired as specials, along with new wraparound segments hosted by Scott D'Amore and Josh Matthews. Also be a 2-hour Impact introductory special airing on Tuesday, October 22nd. ML Fusion TV report. Did not get a link for it, so I'm giving you the full results. First match was Jordan Oliver going against Zenshi. Jordan Oliver got the win after Myron Reed interfered in the match. The main event was Dynasty going against the Hart Foundation in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the tag titles. Dynasty retained, winning 2-1 after Austin Aries came out and attacked Teddy Hart on the outside. That led to a countout. Mickie James was on commentary team during this week's main event episode, which tapes right before Monday Night Raw goes live. There's no indication whether or not this is a permanent decision, but early word is that her performance was well received. Reports are that James may also move to a producer role in the upcoming future. She's been out of action since early June with an ACL injury and that required surgery. And your main event. Spoilers, results, if I can get it uploaded, which will be late this week, probably Thursday night. Cesaro defeated Zack Ryder. Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil defeated Eric Young and Mojo Rawley. Another tag team for Eric Young. In Impact, who was called EY. Raw opened up with a video package on The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, in last week's appearance in Knoxville, Tennessee, taking out Kane and taunting in the Universal Champion Seth Rollins. We're live from the Chase Center in San Francisco, California, as Michael Coleslaw welcomes us to the show, chimed in with Renee Young and tattoo champion of the world, Corey Graves. We go right to the ring. Out comes Universal Champion Seth Rollins to a pop. Rollins says he's seen and done a lot in these rings over the past 7 years, but he's never felt the way he did last week. Rollins talks about being jumped and said he then had a living embodiment of a nightmare in his face. He said he just closed his eyes and hoped it was just a nightmare, but it wasn't. It was real. And he's got to defend his title inside a Hell in a Cell against the Fiend Bray Wyatt in 2 weeks. Rollins talked about how dangerous the cell is and says facing up against Wyatt in a cell is a different story. What does he do? He will do what he always does when he has his back against the wall. Fight. Survive. And prevail. The 3 Commandments. Everybody's got the 3 Commandments. He talks about, well, John Cena's got the 3 Commandments. What are they? Hustle, loyalty, and respect. What's Hulk Hogan's? Say your prayers, take your vitamins, and be yourself. He talks about recent battles with Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman. Rollins doesn't care what kind of mind games Bray Wyatt's playing brings to Hell in a Cell. He will survive and prevail. He's not saying it will be easy, but music interrupts. Out comes Strowman. Strowman enters the ring and stares Rollins down as getting his hand starts up. Strowman says he'd prefer Rollins say it to his face if he had something to say about him at all. Strowman says he's not running around here playing like Mr. Rogers, like Wyatt. He will say it to your face if he needs to. Well, didn't previous wrestlers always say that? That's another one. Alex Riley. And that was his theme song. Say it to my face. He will say it to your face if he needs to. And he suggests Rollins do the same. Rollins goes to interrupt, but Strowman shuts him down. Strowman blames Rollins for losing the tag titles, and he brings up a rematch for the Universal title. Rollins mentions being busy with the winner of tonight's Fatal 4-Way, or 5-Way, next week, and Wyatt in the Hell in a Cell. But the way Strowman came out here just now, makes him want to fight right now, tonight. Strowman asks if that's a challenge. Rollins tells him to take it how he wants it. Rollins drops the mic. Strowman says good, because tonight Rollins will get these hands. Strowman drops the mic, and they face off as Strowman's music hits. Coleslaw confirms the match is up. It's for tonight. Not tonight's show, the Fatal 5-Way, which will now be an elimination match. Sasha Banks versus Nikki Cross. Chad Gable versus Baron Corbin in a rematch. Viking Raiders and versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. OC. We go to the ring. Out comes Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar. However you pronounce it. It doesn't matter how you pronounce it. Coleslaw says it is presented by Domino's Pizza. We go to commercial. So I guess Domino's Pizza is your sponsor for Monday Night Raw. Back for the break. Announcers hype Strowman versus Rollins for later. Viking Raiders wait in the ring as the OC comes out. Luke and Carl with the U.S. champion AJ Styles. Anderson starts off with Eric as they go at it. Taking it to the corner. Anderson fights out of the corner, but Eric blocks a shot and overpowers him some. Eric takes it to the corner, and in comes Ivar for some double teaming. Ivar drops Anderson with a big knee to the face. Ivar with another shot to the nose and a shoulder tackle. Ivar keeps control with the arm and takes Eric back in. Tags Eric back in. Ivar slams Anderson, and then Eric slams Ivar on top of Anderson. Gallows ends up tagging in and hitting Eric with a side slam for a close 2 count. Gallows drops elbows on Eric now as Gallows keeps Eric grounded and beats on him as Styles watches from ringside. Eric fights Gallows off, and then comes Ivar. Ivar catches Gallows with a big side slam. Ivar with a crossbody while Gallows is sitting down. More back and forth. Ivar rocks Anderson on the apron and kicks AJ back to the floor. This allows Gallows to knock Ivar off the apron from to the floor, Referee yells at AJ and ejects him to the back. Says he was pulling on the ankle of Ivar. AJ throws a fit on his way to the back. He reaches to the stage and out comes Cedric Alexander. Alexander unloads on AJ and AJ tries to retreat to the back. We go to commercial with Cedric staying on top of AJ. Back to the right, Gallows is in control of Ivar in the corner. No sign of Cedric or AJ now. Ivar ends up dropping Gallows with a big senton for a pop. Eric and Anderson both tag at the same time. And Eric runs wild. Anderson with a forearm that just upsets Eric. Eric then unloads and stuns Anderson, then tosses Gallows across the ring. Eric with more shots to Anderson. Ivar tags in for a big double team on Anderson. Eric scoops his partner again and launches him into Anderson. Body slam. Ivar covers for a 2 count. You can't believe it when Anderson kicks out. Gallows ends up pulling Ivar to the floor. When Eric is dealing with Anderson, Anderson capitalizes off the distraction and hits a spine buster on Eric for a close 2 count. Ivar is still down upside down. Is still down on the outside as the OC hits a double team boot of doom on Eric. Gallows covers for a 2 count. OC with another double team. Eric sides out of a magic killer attempt and fights them both off. Ivar tags in and dodges with a cartwheel. Anderson goes at it with Ivar, but the Viking Raiders catch him with a Viking experience. Eric leaps out to keep Gallows down while Ivar covers Anderson for the pin and the win. After the match, Viking Raiders celebrate as the music hits. Still to come, a sit-down interview with Becky Lynch. Raw Tag Team Champion Robert Roode is walking backstage when Charlie Caruso stops him for comments on tonight's Fatal 5-Way. She asks why he thinks he will come out on top. Roode talks about already pinning Rollins and says, with the Universal title online, the results will be absolutely glorious. Still to come, a new Firefly Funhouse from Bray Wyatt back to commercial. Back for the break, Michael Cole is backstage with Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch for the sit-down interview. They talk about Becky's title defense against Sasha at Hell in a Cell. Becky is worried about SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley being there because the cell is designed to keep Sasha in the match. Becky says Banks tried to take her out of the game with those steel chair shots last month. Becky says now she will have the chance to take her out at Hell in a Cell. And she better take it because Becky will. Interview ends. Rusev versus EC3. The one percenter, EC3, comes out last after Rusev has already made his entrance. Bell rings and EC3 immediately attacks. Rusev fights him off as "We Want Lana" chant starts up. No Lana. EC3 fights back and they go to the corner. EC3 runs ropes for a crossbody, but Rusev catches him in midair and drops him with a big side slam. Rusev with another power move on EC3 and then tosses EC3 across the ring and shows more aggression. Rusev cranks up for the Machka kick and nails it when EC3 gets back up. Rusev turns EC3 over and yells out to the crowd. Poses over him. Rusev stomps EC3's back, which gets him set up. Sits up for the accolade submission win. After the match, Rusev stands tall, has his arm raised as his music hit. Then they cut to backstage with Rey Mysterio talking about how he almost retired a few weeks ago, but he didn't, and he was just having a moment of serious doubt. Rey says thanks to his own son, Dominic, he didn't retire, he's still here. And tonight, he has a chance to face WWE Universal Champion Seth Rollins next week. Rey says he knows his son is watching, and tonight's match will be dedicated to him. Next matchup, we got Sasha versus Nikki. We go back to the ring. Out comes Sasha with SmackDown Champion Bayley at her side. We go to commercial. Back from the break. Out comes Women's Tag Team Champion Nikki Cross with Alexa Bliss. The bell rings. Cross chases Banks in the corner. Cross is distracted by Bayley as she stops to scream at her. The referee restores order, and they lock up to get things going again. Banks takes it to the corner and unloads with punches. Banks comes back and goes to punch, but stops and slaps Cross. Banks shows off some, and Cross explodes out of the corner to unload her offense. Cross keeps the offense going and takes Banks back down. hits a basement drop kick. Banks goes to the floor to regroup with Bailey. Banks returns to the ring before she's counted out. Of course, at the 8 count. Immediately drops Cross on her head. Banks mounts Cross with strikes. That shows off to a mixed reaction. Cross boxes suplex and rolls Banks up for a 2 count. Cross then gets an arm drag into an armbar. Cross keeps Banks grounded as the referee checks on her. More back and forth, but Cross takes Banks down once again and keeps her there, working on the arm again. Cross in with a crucifix for a 2 count on as Bliss looks on. They take on the mat some more as Cross covers for another 2 count. Cross once again takes Banks down by her arm and keeps her there. Banks fights up and out with knees to the gut. They run the ropes and Cross nails the crossbody for a 2 count. Banks goes back to the floor for a breather, but Cross stays on her, jumping on her back and applying a sleeper hold on the outside. Banks jumps back and slams Cross on the floor. Breaking the hold, Banks laughs as we go back to commercial. Back to the ring, Cross continues to work on the arm as Banks has her down. They take on and Cross rolls Banks up for a 2 count. More back and forth. Banks rocks Cross in the corner with the forearm and delivers the double knees. Cross gets her boot up just in time to catch Banks on her way down. Banks with a knee to the face in the corner. Banks tries again and this time hits the double knees for a 2 count. Banks keeps control and applies the submission in the middle of the ring now. Cross catches Banks in the corner and begins to mount offense for a comeback. Cross hits a running bulldog, but Banks kicks out of 2. Banks catches Cross in the corner by her leg. The Cross gets hung up between the top and the bottom rope. She's selling a leg injury as the referee checks on her. Banks comes back and delivers running knees in the corner for a 2 count. Banks is in control, focusing on the leg and knee now as she keeps Cross grounded. Still more back and forth. Cross resists an attack while she's down. Then sends Banks face first into the ring post and the corner. Cross kicks Banks in the face and then sends her back to the floor next to Bailey. Cross runs the apron, leaps out on Banks, taking her back down on the floor. Cross is fired up as Bailey watches. Cross brings Banks back into the ring, jumps her over the second rope. Cross drops Banks by her neck and covers for a 2 count. Cross nails the leg injury, sells the leg injury still, but keeps control. Banks kicks her down and flies in with a kick to the side of the face. Cross still kicks out of 2, and Banks can't believe it. Banks with another running drop kick to the ribs this time, sending Cross out of the ring. Banks goes for the baseball slide, but Cross traps her in the apron, covers and apron cover, and unloads with forearms as fans pop. Cross removes Banks from the apron cover and brings her back in. Cross goes to the second rope, but Banks runs over. Cross goes for the tornado DDT, but it's blocked. Cross blocks the backstabber and drops Banks with a swinging neckbreaker. Bailey jumps on the apron to distract Cross, but Bliss pulls her down and sends her into the timekeeper's area for another pop. Cross goes back to the top and hits crossbody on Banks. But Banks rolls through into the Banks statement. Banks keeps the hold locked in and Cross eventually taps out. After the match, Banks stands tall as the music plays. Bliss tries to enter the ring to help Cross, but Banks attacks her. Banks applies the Banks statement on Bliss and kicks her out of the ring. Banks' music starts back up, and she hits it back with Bailey. Still to come, Mysterio versus Rude versus Ricochet versus Nakamura versus Styles in a fatal 5-way elimination match. Also, a rematch of the King of the Ring finals and the new Firefly Funhouse. We see the OC backstage selling the beatdown from Cedric Alexander and the Viking Raiders. They go on about Cedric not being in AJ's league. Luke Gallows hyping AJ up and says no one in tonight's fatal 5-way is in his league either. AJ agrees and says nothing will stop him from getting the Universal title. They do the two tweet each other as we in the segment go to commercial. Back from commercial, Michael Cole confirms Brock Lesnar for next week's Raw season premiere. But will he be on Raw or will he be on SmackDown because he's advertised for SmackDown next week as well? We go backstage to the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins backstage. They hype up next week's Raw when The Miz appears. Miz has two big announcements. First is on his second child being born with Maurice this past weekend. The second is next week's Miz TV segment on the Raw season premiere, featuring Hall of Famers Ric Flair and the Hulkster, Double H, Hulk Hogan. Brother. The profits lead us to a replay of last week's SmackDown when Brock Lesnar attacked WWE Champion Kofi Kingston after challenging him to a title match on the SmackDown Fox premiere. Cole saw hyping Lesnar versus Kingston. Still to come, a new Firefly Funhouse segment. Lacey Evans versus Ember Moon was up next. We go to the ring, and out comes Lacey Evans as Mike Rome does his ring introduction back to commercial. Back from the ring, out comes Ember Moon as Evans waits in the ring. The bell rings and Evans taunts Moon. Moon attacks with a drop kick for a 2 count. I fell asleep during that before this match even started. They go at it, back and forth now. Moon mocks Evans now. Climb over to the dirt sheets for the entire show. Moon with a crossbody off the ropes for a 2 count. More back and forth. Evans fights in for the apron and kicks Moon out of the ring with double boots. Evans works Moon over and brings her back in the ring. We see Natalya watching backstage. Evans keeps Moon grounded in the middle of the ring. Moon fights up and out, but Evans takes her right back down and drops her double knees. Evans with offense in the corner for another pin attempt. Evans pounds on Moon while she's down. Evans with another hold to keep Moon grounded in the middle of the ring. Moon finally gets an opening after dropping Evans again. Evans swings first with a women's right, but Moon ducks it. Moon fires back with kicks, getting hyped up for the crowd. Moon rocks Evans with a right hand from the apron, but Evans takes her leg out. Evans attacks, but ends up on the floor. Moon catches her with a stunner on the floor from the apron. Moon brings her back into the ring for a close 2 count, and then another. Moon shows frustration, not getting pinfall. Moon goes up to the top for the eclipse as fans cheer her on. But Evans cuts her off and grabs her hair as the referee warns her. Moon tries to fight back. Evans knocks Moon from the top to the mat with a woman's right. Evans comes back in and applies the Italian sharpshooter, taunting her in the middle of the ring as Moon taps out. After the match, Evans stands tall as music plays. We see Natalya backstage watching again. Sarah Schreiber approaches and asks about Evans using the sharpshooter for the second week in a row. Natalya talks about imitation being the sincerest form of flattery, but says Evans hasn't mastered the move yet. Natalya says Evans better be prepared to tap out if she wants a rematch. We go to another Firefly Funhouse segment with Bray Wyatt and his puppets. Ramblin' Rabbit asks Huskus the Pig. Ramblin' Rabbit and Huskus the Pig are fighting over Seth Rollins' action figure. Looks more than a doll. A stuffed doll. It's bigger than a regular action figure. Wyatt talks to them about sharing and ends up breaking the Rollins action figure in half and laughing. Sharing is caring, he says, as he tosses the figure and laughs. Wyatt stares at the camera as we see flashes of the Fiend in him. Remember how Incredible Hulk scene when he doing his little thing from Bruce Banner doing Incredible Hulk? Very similar. Bray Wyatt flashing to the Fiend. Wyatt says he will see us in hell, then waves goodbye to the segment after a few minutes. Bye. Back to the ring, Carmelo runs into the ring with a 24/7 champion Archer. A group of superstars finally shows up and surrounds the ring. Carmelo brings them to stop chasing them. She can't take this anymore. Truth jokes around, but Carmella is serious. She can't take another night of this. Truth hugs her and she rolls him up for the 24/7 title. Of course, there's a referee in the ring as well. Truth and the other superstars on the apron are stunned. Truth celebrates with Carmella, Sarah Logan, and the Iconics, and the other female superstars come out from the back and run her around the arena. Truth helps Carmella escape with her on his back, and the female superstars chasing them both off. Jake Maverick and the other male superstars look disappointed in the ring. Sasha Banks and Bayley are backstage talking about Becky's interview from earlier. Banks says she will be the only woman standing after their match at Hell in a Cell. Baron Corbin versus Chad Gable was up next. We go to the ring. Out comes King of the Ring, consummated King Corbin for this rematch from the King of the Ring finals. Corbin has a black crown and a scepter now, and a new black and fur robe. Corbin enters the ring, and we go back to commercial. Back to the right, we see Sami Zayn backstage talking to WwE Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura ahead of tonight's main event. But it sounds like Nakamura wants him to shut up. We go back to the ring as Corbin waits. Corbin shows us a replay from SmackDown where Chad Gable destroyed Corbin's coronation ceremony. Gable makes his way out to the ring now. Corbin takes the mic and says he's not here to make fun of anyone tonight, and he won't be out here long because this match will be short. Corbin says after tonight he decrees that he will no longer have to compete against sawed-off runts or other under 5 foot 5 inches. Corbin calls for the bell. Referee gives him time to remove his robe and crown, but Gable is getting impatient. The bell rings and Cole Hall tells us that this match is sponsored by Gears of War 5. On the cover of that, Batista, his new character. They go at it, and Corbin slams Gable back into the corner. But Gable kicks him off. Gable locks up from behind and takes Corbin down. Corbin tosses Gable out of the ring to the floor. Gable comes back in, but Corbin runs him over. Corbin keeps Gable grounded now. Gable fights back and starts to mount offense. Gable to the neck breaker. Corbin rolls to the floor, but Gable keeps fighting. Corbin kicks the leg out and slams Gable's head into the ring steps. Corbin launches Gable over the barrier into the crowd as we go to commercial. Unfortunately, I woke up about that at this point. Back for the break, Corbin runs out. Then back in the ring to level Gable with a big strike. His patented run around the ring post gimmick. Gable kicks out at 2. Corbin shows frustration. Corbin drives elbows into Gable and keeps him grounded in the middle of the ring. Now, Gable fights up and out, but Corbin overpowers and whips him hard into the turnbuckles. Gable goes down. Corbin covers for a 2 count. Corbin argues with the referee. Corbin rocks Gable again, takes him to the top. Gable gets free, nails a crossbody to take Corbin down. Gable strikes out. Gable ducks a clothesline and kicks Corbin's knee. Corbin comes right back with a big boot for another 2 count. And more frustration from King Corbin. Fan chant for Gable now as Corbin isn't happy about it. Corbin responds to the chant by hitting a running splash in the corner. Fans boo Corbin as he taunts him. Corbin with another big running splash in the corner for 3 more boos. Corbin continues to taunt the crowd and yell at them. Corbin charges but misses. No offense from Gable. As you know, this is a squash match. Then runs back into the ring. Gable immediately attacks and keeps charging in the corner. Dropping Corbin. Fans pop for Gable as he goes up top. Corbin knocks Gable's leg out and drives him into the mat for another 2 count. Corbin argues with the referee once again. Corbin gets in John Cone's face as the boos continue. Gable fights back out of the corner. Gable counters a choke slam and rolls Corbin up for a 2 count. Corbin hits the choke slam and covers for another close pin attempt in the middle of the ring. Corbin can't believe it. Fans start rallying for Gable. Again, Gable fights out of the corner with strikes, but Corbin rocks him. Corbin comes off the second rope, but misses and hits the ropes. Gable with a German suplex. Gable goes back up top, and this time he nails the moonsault, but Corbin kicks out. Gable gets up first as the fans chant for him. Corbin grabs Gable by the throat. Gable avoids the end of days and finds the ankle lock in the middle of the ring as the fans are popping. Corbin then goes for the bottom rope, but grabs his scepter instead. Corbin decks Gable with it, and the referee calls for disqualification. After the match, fans boo Corbin as he continues hitting Gable with a scepter. Corbin picks Gable up and drops him with a scepter, shot to the back of the neck. Corbin puts his crown and robe on, then leaves after raising the scepter in the air over Gable. Corbin's music hits and appears to be a remix. He hits to the back as Gable recovers. Still to come, Rollins vs. Strowman. We cut to another return teaser. Victim for the Authors of Pain, a common wrestler. They exposed the others in the WWE for being soft last week. Who do they think they are? Enzo and Big Cass? SWFT. SAWFT. So, everyone is asking, who is AOP? Well, they will show us now. They get up from the victim filming, and we see them walking out into the hallway. They attack two superstars and leave them laying. Apparently, it's Heath Slater and No Way Jose. They return to the victim and victim set and say, that is why no one will fight AOP, which is in the segment. Fatal 5-way elimination match to crown #1 contender. Rey Mysterio versus Ricochet versus Robert Roode versus AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. We go to the ring for tonight's Fatal 5-way elimination match as Rey Mysterio makes his way out first. Winner of this match will earn a title shot from Universal Champion Seth Rollins on next week's season premiere episode. Back to commercial. Back from the break, we see Sarah Schreiber is backstage with Ricochet. He talks about tonight's Fatal 5-way means to him and then rushes to the ring. Raw Tag Team Champion Robert Roode is out next. Out next comes WWE US Champion AJ Styles, followed by the WWE Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura with Sami Zayn. The bell rings and everyone goes at it, except Roode as he goes forward to watch. AJ and Rey trade shots as Ricochet drops Nakamura. Rey and Ricochet are alone in the ring as Rey rolls him up for a 2 count. Roode runs in, but Rey rocks him with a forearm. Ricochet drops Roode. Ricochet knocks AJ off the apron. Back to the floor. Rey springboards in, hits a moonsault to AJ on the floor. Ricochet runs the ropes and leaps over the top, taking Roode and Nakamura down. We go to commercial with Ricochet standing tall after the dive. Back from the break, action continues. Ricochet flies out at AJ, and AJ rocks him with a big forearm. Roode and Rey go at it in the ring by themselves. Roode launches Rey under the bottom rope, sending him onto Ricochet on the floor. AJ brings Ricochet in the ring. Roode takes Ricochet to the corner. AJ and Roode have words out. AJ are not fighting against each other yet. Roode shoves AJ and goes back to Ricochet. Some fans start chanting TNA. They are double teaming. AJ and Roode take turns on Ricochet, beating him down. AJ and Roode with a double elbow on Ricochet. Styles ends up dropping Roode with a Pele kick. Momentarily, AJ with a 2 count on Roode. Nakamura ends up launching AJ into the barrier. Nakamura charges with a high knee to AJ's face, and Sammy looks on. Nakamura enters the ring and goes to work on Ricochet, dropping him on his face for a 2 count. Nakamura drives knees into Ricochet now. Nakamura with boots to the head in the corner now. Nakamura charges in with a big running knee to Ricochet in the corner. Ricochet counters the move and nails an enziguri. Rey flies in with a senton on Nakamura. Rey and Ricochet go at it. Ricochet blocks the DDT and hits a suplex for a 2 count. Styles runs in and rocks Ricochet as Sammy takes on Nakamura at ringside. AJ and Ricochet trade shots. Ricochet with a big drop kick. Roode runs in, but Ricochet nails a jawbreaker. Ricochet gets the upper hand on Roode in the corner. Ricochet brings springboards in with a flying clothesline to Roode. Ricochet with a recoil on Roode. Nakamura runs in. Nails a Kasasha on Ricochet for the pin. Ricochet has been eliminated. We go to commercial. Back for the break. AJ teams with Nakamura on the corner for a double superplex attempt on Rey from up top. Roode comes over and sends them all to the mat. Roode covers Rey for a 2 count. Then AJ, then Nakamura. They try them all. Roode yells at the referee. Roode stomps away on AJ now. Roode tosses AJ out to the floor. Roode unloads on Nakamura in the corner with chops. Nakamura turns around and nails a kick from the second rope for a close 2 count. Nakamura ends up nailing AJ with a sliding knee for a close 2 count. Nakamura goes for the Kasasha, but AJ sidesteps. AJ goes for a Styles clash, but it's blocked. Nakamura sends AJ to the floor. Rey with a crossbody on Nakamura. Rey and Nakamura are going at it. Rey nails a 619 for a pop. Rey waits to springboard, and AJ rocks him on the apron. Then drops his head onto the apron. AJ goes to springboard, but Roode charges and runs into a punch. AJ springboards in, but a phenomenal forearm on Nakamura for the pin. Nakamura has been eliminated. Roode runs over and drops AJ with a Gloria DDT out of nowhere, and Roode pins AJ, and AJ's been eliminated. They're down to Ray and Rude. Ray is still down on the outside. Fans cheer as Rude exits the ring. Rude brings Ray back in and waits for him in the corner. Rude calls for the glorious DDT. Ray blocks it and rolls him up for a 2 count. Ray drops Rude in the position for the 619. Ray charges, but Rude nails his spine buster out of nowhere. Ray still kicks out at 2. Rude ends up blocking a seated senton. Ray blocks the glorious DDT and ends up hitting a 619. Ray flies back in with a splash and covers Rude to become the new #1 contender. And we'll face Seth Rollins next week. After the match, Ray celebrates as music plays. We go backstage to Charlie Caruso and Seth Rollins. He congratulates Rey Mysterio and says this will be a dream match for him. He goes on and talks about winning tonight's match with Braun Strowman, next week's match against Ray, and then the Hell in a Cell match against Bray Wyatt. Back to commercial. Back to the ring, Sasha Banks versus Women's Champion Alexa Bliss is announced for next week's Raw. Seth Rollins versus Braun Strowman. We go to the ring for tonight's non-title main event. As Braun Strowman comes out first, Universal Champion Seth Rollins out next. A bell rings and they go at it start. Strowman overpowers early on, takes control. Strowman tosses Rollins around and manhandles him. Rollins jumps on Strowman's back, but it backfires. Strowman tosses Rollins again, ends up down on the outside. Back to commercial with Strowman standing tall in the ring. Back to the right, Rollins looks to turn it around. Rollins goes for the pedigree, but Strowman backdrops him. Yes, this move was given to him by Triple H, allowing him to use it. Strowman runs around the ring and goes to run over Rollins, but Rollins jumps into the crowd. Rollins leaps off the barrier, but Strowman headbutts him. Strowman brings him back in the ring and smashes Rollins in the corner. Strowman misses in the corner. And runs into the ring post. Rollins takes Strowman's leg out and wraps him around the ring post. Rollins springboards back in with a knee to the head. Rollins with a super kick to the head for a pin attempt, but Braun launches him off. Very similar to Hulk Hogan with a big power up. Rollins goes for another sleeper hold now, bringing Strowman down to one knee in the middle of the ring. Strowman powers up and rams Rollins back in the turnbuckle. Strowman runs into a super kick. Rollins goes up top and hits a blockbuster. Rollins finally covers for a 2 count, but Strowman kicks out. Rollins goes back to the top and hits a big frog splash in the middle of the ring. Rollins goes right back up and hits a second frog splash for a 2 count. Rollins keeps fighting and sends Strowman to the floor. Rollins does a pair of suicide dives on Strowman out of the floor. Rollins goes for the third dive, but stumbles in the middle of the ring, and Strowman catches him. And Strowman makes his way into the ring, then chokeslams him back into the apron. Strowman runs around the ring and levels Rollins on the floor. The big shoulder tackles. Strowman comes back with another shoulder tackle, and then nails a running power slam on the floor. Then brings it back in the ring. Strowman keeps control and scoops Rollins up for the power slam, but it looks like the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, has arrived. And we hear familiar sounds as the lights go down. As he's in the middle of the ring, lights start flashing as we see Wyatt bringing Strowman down in the middle of the ring with a mandible claw. Wyatt screams as he grounds Strowman with a claw. Rollins watches while down in the corner. Like last week, Wyatt crawls over and taunts Rollins. Also like last week, Wyatt crawls back to Strowman and takes him down again with a mandible claw. Wyatt laughs while punishing Strowman this time. Fan chant, holy crap. As Wyatt turns back to Rollins and then back to Strowman. Lights go dark again, and we hear Wyatt's laugh again across the arena as Raw goes off the air. Dark match main event following Raw from the Chase Center in San Francisco saw Charlotte Flair and Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch defeat Sasha Banks and SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley in tag team action. There was also a quick segment that happened right after Raw went off the air. The show ended with the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, taunting Universal Champion Seth Rollins right after taking out Strowman during the Strowman versus Rollins main event. Wyatt tried to hit Rollins with his sister Abigail as soon as Raw ended, but Rollins countered and delivered a stomp in his Hell in a Cell as his Hell in a Cell opponent. You can see the video of that interaction at this link, along with a video of Rollins hopping up his fiance before the dark main event. What happened with that? Okay, and you can see at this link, Seth hyping Becky up and blowing her kisses for a dark match. Can't stand a better man. A dark main event after Raw saw from Chase Center in San Francisco saw Women's Champion Becky Lynch and Charlotte defeat Sasha and Bayley in tag team matches. And that concludes my results for Raw and WWE Main Event. Thanks again. Peace out. See you on the video. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.